Hey, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. How you guys doing today? Hey, William here. I am just got in from doing some Doordash and stuff today, and wow! Remember I was telling you guys about the certain places that you can go to, and you would not want to maybe eat there, or people are grody or whatever, and you definitely want to hand sanitize yourself. Well, I got a little story for you today. Not to put any restaurant on blast, I'm not going to mention them by name, but yeah, I wouldn't eat there. I was in Atlantic City, and there's this place that does like Mexican and pizza, weird combo. So anyway, I picked up an order, and it was like for tacos and like enchiladas and like some kind of like fajita thing. No big deal. But I get there and the order's not ready yet, so I have to kind of like hang out, and that happens sometimes. And then like DoorDash will hit you up and be like, what's going on? What's taking so long, you know? So you can like text a response back. All right, I tell them food's not even ready yet, whatever. So, and it was a choice, that's what you get to pick. And that was the honest truth, you know? Well, when I walked in initially, the people weren't wearing masks. They had their mask, well, I guess the owner, he had it down like this, you know? I guess that's his wife. She wasn't wearing one, and the cook wasn't wearing one. And what they have is they have a countertop, you know? So the countertop's down, and they turned around and just, you know, just threw it on real quick when I walked in. I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm DoorDash, you know? This is who I'm picking up for, you know, showing my phone. And all of a sudden they were just like, oh, okay, well, you know, they get ready and do their thing. Well, I guess like as they're doing their stuff or whatever, I guess it's the owner's wife, you know, she everybody there is Spanish, and I'm not saying anything bad or anything like that, but you know, that's what they're doing, and they're just, you know, they're doing that kind of food. So it's authentic, it's good food. But I wouldn't eat there. And that's only because, you know, they're not wearing gloves either. So the cook is sitting there handling the food, and he's not wearing gloves. And then the wife or whatever, she was handling money and then handling food. And I was like, whoa, what is going on? Like, you can't do that. I didn't say anything, and I could have, you know, I should have been like, hey, you know, you guys shouldn't be doing that. But then for the order that I was picking up, she wasn't handling any of that food, so I didn't feel I needed to say anything to her at that time. I was amazed and shocked at what I saw next. I get it, you know, like she was like, I guess a woman, she was an older woman, and I guess, you know, she was trying to take care of herself, and she was always like adjusting herself and like, you know, in the mirror looking at herself, and like kind of always playing with her stomach a little bit. And then like, you know, she was showing off like her little body or whatever. She had a nice little body, you know, I'm a married man, whatever. But like she was doing it to her husband, who didn't care in the world what she was doing. He was too busy with his mask like this and on his phone. So whatever was going on his phone was more important than his old lady standing in front of him, you know? And she's, you know, doing her thing, and she's even shaking her hips at him, like, you know, right in his face. He could care less. So it must be like old hat, and he just doesn't care. She then caught my attention. She then turned around. I guess she had an itch, so she scratched it. Now, hey, I work in the kitchen, you know, and I've been doing food and stuff for like 30 years. And, you know, it happens. You get like, you know, your nose might get itchy or whatever, and if you have an itch, you know, downstairs, you should probably do that in the bathroom and then wash your hands and, you know, all that good stuff. But again, we're talking, she wasn't even wearing gloves. And she did it right in front of me. That was the best part. I was like, what is going on? It's even hard for me to tell you, because I just couldn't believe I saw it. She took her hand, and instead of like, you know, if maybe you have something going on, like being a guy, I'm a guy, you know, sometimes you got to make an adjustment. Sometimes the boys kind of feel a little, and you give it like, you know, you give the underwear a little pull, you know. And but you usually do it over top of your pants. And if you're in a kitchen, you should still, probably go wash your hands. Or if you're wearing the gloves that you're cooking the food with, take them off, wash your hands, put the gloves on it. And like everybody knows this that works in a kitchen, especially now with the pandemic and everything going on. This woman, barehanded, went over the top of her waistband, which she's wearing like jogging pants, leggings, jogging pants, whatever the ladies call them, and she goes down and she starts digging, and she's digging for gold. And I'm not, she wasn't in the back, she was in the front. So I don't know if the order was calling for like a tuna taco or if she was gonna pull a blue claw crab out of there. But I was like literally my face, I stared at her, and like she saw me stare at her, because I was just like, so imagine I'm wearing the mask and I'm like that, like my eyes were like, what, that just happened. She couldn't see my mouth because I was like, whoa, didn't wash her hands, didn't do nothing. She went to go put the food into the bag. So they put it in styrofoam containers, the cook did, and then she was gonna go ahead and put the, touch the containers after she just did this and put them in. And I think, the cook saw it and saw my eyes, and he grabbed the container. She's like, no, oh no, mommy, I got this. So he grabbed it, thank goodness, because I probably would have refused the order. And I know that's like, it's really not my call to do that, but knowing what I know and everything, and I'm just like, no, I would have not have wanted to serve that food, because I don't, it's cross-contamination stuff going on, and who knows what they did prior to me. But because I witnessed it and saw it, in my good conscience, I couldn't hand that food to somebody. So I'm glad that he took over and he touched everything and, put it in brown bags and stapled it and everything, because, you have to make sure that it's sealed, because, you do get some scumbag people that might be doing the Doordash stuff and wanting to touch the food. Because that was one of the biggest things, controversies when rideshare started going around. A lot of the people were, they were eating people's fries and stuff. So like McDonald's, they like staple it or tape it, and they put seals on. A lot of other places do it too, to show that, it's not tampered with. It's like a tampered seal thing, which, hey, good. Not everybody's honest. Not everybody's like, in the best interest of everybody else. They're out for themselves, or, so I'm glad he turned around and did all that. And then I put it in my bag. Like when I go up to people's houses, other than a pizza box, because like I said, I don't have a pizza bag yet, I walk up to their door, and they have people have the Ring doorbell. They can see me, they're not seeing me. They know that I'm arriving. They get the notification that I arrived. I'm not a skinny guy, so they can see me walking by their windows. They can definitely hear me walking on their steps. And I put the food where it's supposed to go by the instructions that they give me. And then I take a photo of it and send it to them. And then, so they know the whole deal. But if they are looking, they're seeing me pull their food out of my bag, because I have the Doordash bag. They're seeing me pull it out of the hot bag, and then they're seeing their food there, and they're getting the picture. And I even put my hot bag next to their food. So it kind of tells them too, like, hey, I kind of I hooked you up. I gave you kept it warm for you. I was courtesy, and that helps out in tips, honestly. Like people will comment, and I'll be riding down the road and someone will text me, that I again, like I said, it's a scrambled number. You might not know, who it is, but they'll be like, hey man, just want to tell you thanks, and I hope you get this soon. And then I'll see it, it will come up on my phone, bang, I got a tip, and it was awesome. And that's all I had to do. I just had to be, a nice guy and be courtesy to somebody, because I don't know, I just personally, I think of, if this was me or my family wanting the food, and everything like that. But I did say thank you to the cook, even though he didn't do the right thing with not washing his hands, but, and then touching food without gloves. I mean, I don't know if he didn't wash his hands, but who knows what else he touched. But at least it was all food related. I mean, if a health inspector was in there, they would have got gigged on that. because that was one of the first things I did when I walked in. You know, you walk in any restaurant, you could see the certifications, you know, sitting on the wall. And when she went in the front and started scratching, you know, I was like, whoa. And I like quick looked over and I'm like looking at the certificate and I'm like, is that recent? I mean, like, let's see okay, yeah, okay. You know, but I mean, I was like, wow, yeah, wow. But, and the funny thing was, is her name was on the food handling course certificate. So I was like, this lady knows better. Like, she had to take the class and everything. So, you know, for food safety. So I'm just like, wow, like this woman just, you know, she had an itch, she had to scratch it, I guess. I don't know. But like, it just blew me away that happened in front of me, because like, I'm like a customer too, you know, I'm not, yeah, I mean, yeah, like some people think that like I'm their delivery guy and I work for them. Sometimes you get that kind of attitude, you know, but I'm a third party delivery guy. Like I don't work for anybody. I work for myself. And you know, I represent Doordash in that rideshare third party aspect of it. So it was just, it was eye opening. And it was like, oh yeah, that kind of stuff still goes on. So I think, you know, sometimes ladies, you know, when they maintain the landscape down there, I guess she had grass growing back in and it got a little itchy. I mean, I don't know. Her infield maybe was, you know, coming back. So I was like, wow, all right, yeah, good. But that's all I had for you guys. I just had to share it and get it off my chest. It was crazy today. There was just a lot of different orders that were wacky. You know, I had to go to Popeyes. Oh God, I hate Popeyes. I just like, I can't stand them. I hate's a strong word, but I just dislike Popeyes. And I go in, it's always an issue. They're never ready. And of course, you know, it's people like, they don't want to give the customer their stuff. And I had 2 different customers that I was picking up for. And of course they didn't have the right food. And of course they didn't have the frozen drink that, you know, the customer ordered. And they tried to give me a song and a dance that the machine's broken. It's like, no, your manager didn't order this stuff to make the frozen drink. Like, I can see that it's empty. The box is not there, the syrup box. I know, because I order this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, come on now. But, you know, you don't say that. You just sit there and go, oh, okay, I'll contact them. I'll see what the substitute they want. And, you know, and that's it. That's all you can do. You can just, you go, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And then I hit the person up and I say, hey, you know, it's Bill from Doordash, and, you know, they weren't able to give you your frozen lemonade. What other drink would you like? And they'll give you a credit, you know. And, you know, the person was like, a Sprite, you know, whatever. And so it's that kind of stuff aggravates me now. Because, you know, when I go to the Philippines, you know, you can get ice cream and frozen drinks and stuff. It's amazing. Their machines work. But here in America, you know, we don't have usually frozen drinks working properly. It's amazing how that is. Oh, and the other thing that was amazing too was they had a tip jar on the counter at this Popeyes. And I was like, what? Like, I've never seen that in a fast food chain where they had it. And the other thing was, the only people going inside were all rideshare people. So they have a big sign on the door, and it says that all, you know, rideshare food delivery people come in. And when you, on the app, it even says when you're pulling into their driveway, because normally I just go through the drive-through. I have to give a customer number, or I give the person's name, whatever that business wants you to do. And that's another thing, you find out which businesses want different things, and you just oblige by them. Well, Popeyes wants you to go inside, and I guess because they screw up all the time, to be honest with you. And it's good that you go in, because you can check to make sure you're actually getting the right stuff, because nothing's worse than going to somebody's house, dropping it off, because you don't know the bag's sealed. You have no idea what's in there. Whatever they're giving you is what they're giving you. And, you know, they turn around and boom, you're like, that happened a couple times to me on Uber Eats. But the Uber Eats just changed that a little bit. But now DoorDash, no, they tell you exactly what's on there. So this way you can make sure it's right and correct. Especially, you know, when you go to some of these cafes, like, I don't know these drinks that their people are getting, and you know, it's like purple or whatever. I have no clue what they mixed, you know, and I'm like, this is the right one, right? Like, because I don't want to get embarrassed on somebody's doorstep, but they should have a blue drink or whatever with whipped cream or something. The ladies, they always laugh at me, you know, and they're like, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's the right one, hon. You know, they say all that to me, and I'm like, all right, I'm just checking. Because, you know, you're by yourself at that point. You know, you don't represent that store. You represent yourself, you know, that's it. You're out there kind of on your own, you know, and, you know, DoorDash has a thing with ratings and everything like that. And you got to make sure, and people comment, you know, if you're good or not, like if you're courteous, if you're on time, if you know, you went the extra mile, you know, people, you know, are critical of that kind of stuff, you know, and rightfully so. They're paying top dollar, you know, for their food. They're paying a delivery charge, you know, and everything like that, whatever it works out to be, from Uber Eats to paying me, you know, but they're paying for the convenience, I guess. And then, you know, so if you're nice to them and everything like that, that's usually how you get tips. And if you go the extra mile. So I usually do that. You know, I contact the person. I'll, you know, shoot them a text like, hey, I'm down the street. I'm turning in now. And then, like, you know, you do all that kind of stuff. And it just goes a long way. But yeah, I just had to share that with you guys for this evening. That was, it was interesting and crazy. And I couldn't believe that, you know, that happened. I was shocked. I literally was shocked that this woman just decided to do that. And thank God she didn't touch the food. But yeah, anyway, thank you all for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. God bless. Good night.